And with that, you're officially a Launch Your Classroom field agent. Congratulations, Hillary.
Thanks, Andres. I can't wait to get out there and do my part. I've got some great ideas on how to set up classrooms for success.
Well, it looks like we have a call for assistance coming in right now. Up for it?
You bet.
All right. Spencer, Brian, we've got one to transport.
Copy. Locking onto the quantum signature.
And beginning the signal.
Well, looks like Hillary's off on her first mission. Well, Penny, for your thoughts, Kyle?
It just seems like yesterday that it was my first day in the field, heading out to help teachers do what they do best. It really brings back some memories.
Oh, hello. You got here fast.
Better late than never.
Huh?
I'm still working on that bit. In the meantime, I hear you have a classroom situation.
Yes, the first day of school is coming up, and I want to make sure I'm as prepared as I can be.
A noble goal. To begin with, we can start discussing seating charts and posting some procedures.
Perfect. You know, I'd also love some tips for easy ways to start building rapport with my students.
Let me check with the station. Come in, Mission Control. Requesting some tips on establishing student rapport. Repeat. Requesting some tips on establishing student rapport.
Do you know what would be a simple and powerful first step in creating the bond and sense of trust between a teacher and student? The rapport at the door strategy.
Brilliant. I'll download it straight to Hillary's HoloWatch.
So we're going to talk about the top 5 strategies to help you build rapport at the door.
Ready to get started?
Yeah.
Welcome to Launch Your Classroom. I'm Kyle Pope. Today is a very special occasion as we're able to celebrate a major milestone. This video marks our 50th episode of Launch Your Classroom. We've been extremely happy to present teachers with professional development since 2018. Our show has come a long way since those first episodes, and we appreciate you taking the journey with us. But there is another milestone around the corner, the first day of school. In the world of education, nothing can quite compare to the first day. Everyone has a clean slate, they're excited to begin, and there's a lot of hope for what the year will bring. For some teachers, the renewed energy can inspire them to create a jubilant first day. And although there's nothing wrong with having fun in the classroom, you should definitely have fun in the classroom. It's also your opportunity to begin laying the foundations for the rest of the year. On the first day of school, you should begin establishing your rapport, your procedures, your rules, and even your teaching style with your students. This, of course, doesn't happen overnight and takes some careful planning. So today on Launch Your Classroom, we're going to take an in-depth look at how to prepare and implement a successful first day of school. Let's get started with our first strategy.
The first day of school is as exciting as it is important. Teachers are making first impressions with their students, and there's a lot of important information to communicate. By organizing your materials and preparing your classroom ahead of time, you will ensure that everything goes smoothly so you can walk through the door relaxed and confident on day 1. Students need a place to store their personal belongings. If you'll be assigning cubbies, be sure to label them with the students' names ahead of time. Older students often have lockers assigned, but will also need storage under their desks. Meanwhile, a cell phone organizer will keep devices safe while limiting distractions. Any materials your students will need should be available and prepared for use. Create your seating chart before your students arrive. Having name tags already placed on their desks will guide students to their seats quickly when they arrive, so class can begin on time. Make sure to print a copy of the class roster to take attendance. Having a hard copy on the first day will allow you to move around the classroom instead of remaining stationary behind a computer. Having anchor charts detailing your procedures, instructional content, and class goals will keep your students engaged and informed. Positioning them at eye level will draw student attention if it starts to wander. If you have a technology cart or computer station, make individual login cards for each student with their ID numbers and password information. Keep a master list of all login credentials for your reference. This list should be kept private and not for public viewing. Even on the first day of school, you should prepare lessons, lesson materials, and an engaging hook ahead of time. When your students understand what to expect in a day's lesson, they can concentrate on your content and will see your organizational efforts as a sign of respect for their learning process. Students thrive when you plan with purpose. For classrooms with younger students, a visual reference like a How We Go Home chart is an invaluable resource for both you and your class. By having student names and modes of transportation listed, they will be able to exit your classroom knowing how they will get home without any confusion. For older students, you could use this space for a reminder board or a calendar of upcoming events. The first day of school sets the tone for the rest of the year, so it's natural to feel a little nervous. However, if you prepare ahead of time, you can close the classroom door on that final teacher workday with the confidence that you are ready for a strong start.
A little advanced preparation can give you both confidence and a sense of organization from the very start of the school year. Doing your research before the first day of school will help you deliver instruction effectively, demonstrate professionalism with your colleagues, and start on a positive note with your students. Although a new school year is just beginning, you'll be surprised how quickly time flies in your classes. For this reason, preparing your instruction before the first day of school helps you plan your teaching time and use it wisely. A simple but powerful first step is to find the state standards for the curriculum you teach. These documents can seem long and dense, but if you familiarize yourself with them before you start teaching, they will be much easier to use. Then, practice aligning your lesson plans and class activities with these standards. Creating instructional objectives that follow the state standards will help keep your students on track for success and help you make the most of your time. Your research is important not just for your classroom, but for interactions with administrators and colleagues. Before that busy first week of school, learn about your professional responsibilities beyond the classroom and take notes. Putting regular faculty meeting dates on your calendar and confirming your duties outside class time will make you a more reliable colleague. And when you familiarize yourself with your school's leadership structure, faculty roles, and even preferred methods of staff communication, you demonstrate professional behaviors that make a strong first impression. Speaking of first impressions, let's talk about the most important research: learning about your new students. Gather information about the children you will teach before they even step inside your classroom. Cumulative folders contain both academic and personal information about your students that may help you predict their behavior, attitude about school, strengths, and challenges. Your school's online attendance system might have pictures of your students so you can start connecting names to faces. Think about how much more welcome your students will feel when you can learn their names quickly. When you learn each other's names right away, you will feel more like a classroom community in a shorter amount of time. With just a bit of fact-finding before the first day of school, you can take proactive steps with your lesson planning, professionalism, and student rapport. So, start off strong and well-informed. Your research will prepare you for a successful first day that sets a positive tone for the rest of your school year.
This seating chart will be a great way to learn my students' names and keep the class on task. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. And these anchor charts will help ensure your activities run smoothly.
Everything's really coming together. Though, come to think of it, I wouldn't mind learning some icebreakers to really get to know my students more as well.
Got it, Hillary. I think we've got just the thing. Kyle and Johnny are heading down to the archives now to take a look.
Hey guys, what are you up to?
We're heading down to Deck Z.
Oh, the archives, huh? Might want to bring a flashlight. Need a hand?
Thanks. Would you mind standing by in the wellness pod in case you get any questions about work-life balance?
You got it.
I'll find a light switch.
Are we okay to be down here? It's been sealed up for quite a while.
Well, the scanner's reading 100 out of 100 on the DeMott scale. Perfect score. We should be fine.
I know there's some information down here somewhere on the most effective types of icebreakers. Aha, here it is. This small group icebreaker activity is a great way to start learning student interest. Here, take this data chip and send it over to Hillary with your scanner.
Knowing about your students' hobbies and pastimes will help you increase rapport, which leads to better student engagement and student behavior.
The first day of school. Nothing like a fresh start for me and my incoming students. With my first day action plan, I'll be able to set the tone for the upcoming year and set my students up for success. Speaking of my students, I wonder how they're gearing up for their first day.
I haven't seen Arthur all break. I'm a little nervous to talk to my friends that I haven't seen in such a long time.
That's everything. I wonder where my new cubby will be, or how we will turn in assignments.
I'm so proud of my grades last year. I wonder if I'll be able to pull it off again this year.
First up on the list, my introduction. After my students file in and take their seats, I'll make sure to explain a little bit about myself. Good morning, everyone. My name is Miss Tara. I've been teaching math for 6 years. Math is my very favorite subject, and I'm really excited for us to explore it as a class this year. I'll tell you more about myself later, but right now, I'd like to take a moment for you all to share about yourselves. Let's play a game called Two Truths and a Lie. For this game, what you're going to do is think about 3 facts. The start of class is going great so far. I can tell my students are excited about this icebreaker. This activity will help me learn more about my students and is really going to ease them into working together in the future.
My favorite food is pizza, and this summer I learned how to play guitar.
I think the lie is that you are allergic to cats.
Oh, yeah!
Let's talk about our classroom procedures. We will be turning in assignments every day.
Oh, okay. That all makes sense. I'm excited to put my name tag on my cubby.
We'll be reviewing our rules and consequences throughout the year regularly. Let's take a minute to see where we're going to be storing our belongings. Next up, academics. I have a fun, unique activity that will help my students understand what to expect from our content. I think it will be helpful for everyone if we go over our grading system. Let's go on a syllabus scavenger hunt.
Awesome! I'm gonna try to keep straight A's again this year.
It's great to make these connections on the first day. That way, we can begin to build trust that will last for the rest of the year. It felt good to start the day off knowing exactly what I needed to get done. Now my students know what I expect from them for this upcoming year, which will help everyone to stay focused. This first day action plan was built to last.
On the first day of school, there are so many important things we want to communicate to our students. We use icebreakers to show them we want to know them better. We share our expectations, procedures, and rules to establish a safe, effective learning space. And then, believe it or not, now is the perfect time to introduce your students to your subject matter. Why? First, it sets a standard. When you begin your content on the first day, students know your priority is their learning. Second, it gets students back into the routine of class time, which could not only prevent management issues in the future, but also reduce the anxiety of those who are nervous about returning to school. So, here are 3 ways you can jump into your instructional content on day 1. Activate your students' previous knowledge. While some of your students might have had academic experiences over the break, others have not, and may be uncomfortable about returning to a school setting. When you gently introduce your content by reminding students of their prior knowledge, you demonstrate that they all have access to learning, regardless of their home environment or resources. It's a great way to build student confidence while letting them know you expect everyone's best. Plan a collaborative activity. Get your students talking about your content in pairs and small groups. This is a comfortable way to let students get to know one another while giving you a chance to communicate your collaborative work expectations, like appropriate noise levels and polite interaction. This is a powerful first step in building a positive classroom culture, where students learn from each other as well as from you. Make it engaging. This first day gives you a unique opportunity to get your students excited about the time they will spend in your class. Consider a structured but fun activity to get your students interested in your content, like a scavenger hunt, low-risk game, or active lesson that gets your students up and moving in an organized fashion. That way, you can practice and reinforce new routines even as students get a chance to dive into their academics. By introducing students to your instructional content on the very first day, you communicate an important message that can resonate with them all year, that they are in your class to learn. Set this expectation and enjoy the benefits for you and your students as the school year progresses.
The first day of school is an exciting time for both teachers and students. Teachers can make the most out of this opportunity by planning and solidifying classroom essentials, from organizing materials to developing procedures to taking the first steps into your content. The tone you set on the first day will set the foundations as you move forward. So we encourage you to take the time to follow the guidance in this episode and launch your classroom into the new school year. This month on Launch Your Classroom, we're going to continue to look at topics related to the first days of class. We're going to cover a strategy which will help you reflect on the first day and use what you've learned for the coming weeks. We'll sit down with an expert educator to discuss questions teachers have about planning a successful first day. Then, at the end of the month, we're going to have some teacher wellness tips about what to do the night before school. So be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel to get our upcoming content. And check out launchyourclassroom.com for all your professional development needs. From the cast and crew of LYC, a sincere thank you for being a part of our first 50 episodes. Here's to 50 more. We'll see you next time on Launch Your Classroom.
You know, I bet they're gonna need help with classroom technology too.
Let's see what we can find.
Wow, would you look at that? These are great for managing student cell phones.
Absolutely. Hey, there's a whole nother room over there. Wait, it can't be.
It is the original professional development pod.
Oh, I wonder how Hillary's doing.
Let's check. Hey Spencer, can you put Hillary through?
Patching her in now.
There we are. Now you're ready for your first day activities.
Thank you, Hillary. You've been a huge help.
Kyle? Oh, hi. Things are going great. We're just finishing up now. Miss Kate is off to a wonderful start for her school year.
Looks like everything's under control.
Up for a game of hollowball?
Kyle, we have multiple teacher assistance calls coming in. Patching them through.
What are some tips for writing a beginning of school year parent letter? I could really use advice on student seating arrangements.
Just how many classroom rules should I have?
I'll have to take a rain check on the hollowball.
There's still plenty of work to do.